Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing Comic Uno's Best Comics of the Week, and this is the show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show. We go least favorite to best pick of the week and everything in between. This week I had a very light haul, only 6 books for this week, and honestly, there's 1 or 2 books that I kind of just picked up because it was such a light week. So, also another note, next week I will not have an episode, so I'm sorry about that, but the week after, and the week after that, and the week after that, I'll be back on track for videos. So, also, at the end of the video, tell me your pick of the week in the comments because we talk about the viewer's pick of the week, and you have a chance for your comment to be featured on the video. Now, let's get into business. Number 6 for me is Batman Annual Issue 1, or 2022, the annual. And, this was one of those books where I kind of got on whim. I do read Batman. I like Batman, but I don't really love Ghost Hunter or Ghost Maker, or Clown Hunter, and those were the stars of this issue. And it was a lead-in to Batman Incorporated, which was an arc that was played with in Detective Comics, and I kind of fell off with Detective Comics. So I will say, if you enjoy Ghost Maker, I think it was a good issue when it comes to that. If you enjoy Clown Hunter, you want to see what's up with him, good issue in that regard. Now, if you are not as interested in those characters, I don't think this will make you fall in love with those characters. I thought the artwork was solid for this book, but really, it just didn't do it for me. I'm not in love with annuals in general, so overall, giving this 2 stars, I think it's pretty skippable, unless you're super excited for Batman Incorporated. Moving on to the other book I picked up, mostly because I was like, it's such a light week. Let me try out this issue. I dropped this book, or I was planning on dropping this book, and that is Strange, issue 3. I had such promise for this one, and I actually enjoyed issue 1, but issue 2 showed me exactly where the book's going to go. And I just personally don't love the arc of this main character becoming the Sorcerer Supreme, Clea, or I think her name's Clea. She becomes this, and her whole worry is, let me talk about my ex-husband and how to save him, and not really getting to see her as Sorcerer Supreme and what makes her different. And I feel like we get, similar vibe of that here, but also I thought the artwork was not as strong as than the previous issues, so I didn't really love this issue, and it kind of put a stamp on, okay, I'm probably gonna drop the book officially. So I gave it the 3-issue try, and I gave that 2 stars. So that is number 5. Moving on to number 4, and this is a new James Tynion book, The Closet, issue 1. I believe this honestly was already released on Substack, so this is the start of the Substack books coming to Image or Dark Horse or these other publishers, and seeing it hit the direct market. And I love that route, and just seeing different readers to get to pick up these books. And this is classic James Tynion. If you enjoy his stuff, you enjoy his indie stuff, I think it really brings in that ambiance, that slow pace. I like character work a little bit more, so this one didn't hook me as much, but I like the vibe of it. I especially like the artwork for this book, and the creepiness of what the hell's in this closet, and then you get to see this alien creature. Literally looks like the alien from Aliens, and what do you believe? Is it real? Is it not? And I think it definitely played, again, with that very slow burn, which I personally couldn't get into, but I could definitely see why it went that direction. So I don't think it gave me enough for issue 2, but I think it definitely presented an interesting comic with some really good visuals. I think that's what really sold the book, if anything, was the artist. So giving that 3 stars, and that is number 4. Moving on to number 3, which is Firepower issue 21, and this is a very point A to point B issue. There's not much that happens, but there is definitely a lot of setting up the pieces. So there's definitely some good character work. I really love the kids here and them fighting about whose powers are stronger, and just seeing Kelly interact with Owen's parents, I thought was a good scene. Those are the things that really shined here. And then again, it's more about moving pieces of okay, who's gonna defeat this dragon? Is Owen really gonna fight this dragon by himself, with obviously an army behind him, but he's gonna be the main guy to fight this dragon, and we're really building into that moment. So I think they could have done a little better at giving us a little bit more in this issue, but I like the action, I like the art, and I like the small moments. So overall, giving this 3.5 stars, and that is number 3. Moving on to number 2, and I didn't expect I was going to like this as much as I did. Justice League Road to Dark Crisis issue 1. I'm not a big fan of the anthology style when it comes to superhero comics. I like it when it comes to indie books and it has this like one theme and we get to see all different creators come together and create stories. But when it comes to superheroes, I tend just to get a little bored. And I honestly enjoyed the anthology style here. I think it worked, where we get to see all different heroes from different sides of the DC universe react to the Justice League dying, and you get this opener with Superboy or Superman and Dick Grayson about Superman's death, Clark Kent's death, and how he died in the past and their reaction, and Dick Grayson's hope, I thought really was a great opener for this. And then we get to see how Wally's reacting or how Jordan's reacting. And then you actually get into the nitty gritty of what this event's going to be and more of the mythology drivenness of it as well. And even if the artwork wasn't as consistent throughout all the stories, I thought the artwork was solid for all of them. And I honestly, this is exactly what I want from a build-up prelude issue, where you're like, okay, what are the heroes' reaction and character work when it comes to the death of the Justice League, and is it permanent, is it not, and how does it affect the DC universe on a character level? And I think this issue did a good job at that. So overall, giving that 3.5 stars. I was pleasantly surprised by this one and interested to see where Dark Crisis issue 1 goes, which hopefully I'll be able to at least talk about on social media, but again, won't have a video next week. But there's much Dark Crisis to come. Now moving on to my obvious pick of the week, and that is Shadow War Omega issue 1. I think this is one of my favorite events in recent years, just because of the build-up. It really was set up so perfectly in Robin, which I just thought was such and I guess continues to be a great run. I know it's ending soon, and just a very consistent run, and that's what I like from superhero books, where you get to see this kind of independent world, and you get to see the creators just melding its own vision for these characters, and it just feels like a real staple on the character. And we get to see a lot of those lessons learned here, where Damian making friends and really knowing what death means actually tells Geoforce, don't kill my mom, because it's my mom, but also heroes don't kill. And it's just such a good thesis statement and just such good character development. And there's just some great character work and action in this issue overall, where we actually do get to see the motivations of Geoforce, and it doesn't feel explainy. They actually show it to us. So you get to kind of feel for the villain, even if you don't know who Geoforce is. I think it was just such a great reveal. It was surprising, but again, there was actual ties to why this character would do it. And then we do get to see some connections to Dark Crisis by the end, where of course Deathstroke is not dead, and it looks like his mission to kill everybody is going to be connected to Dark Crisis, and I'm sure more of the multiverse stuff, which makes sense because Joshua Williamson is writing both series. So again, everything feels connected and feels warranted, and that's something I just really enjoyed about this book. And then, we get to see some character growth between Batman and Damian, and see their relationship rekindle, which we know is not going to last for long because there's literally a Batman vs. Robin series coming out. But I liked how we got to that point, and just the development there, and I just thought the pacing of this event was so good. It didn't feel like an event. It felt like a story that needed to be told, and I miss books like that within the big twos. And the artwork was consistent throughout all of it. There was the different artist for Deathstroke because it made sense. It was an epilogue, and then the rest of it was the same artist. Is something I would love to see in events as well, is just consistent artwork, and it was very similar style to what we've been seeing in Robin. So overall, 4 stars, really, really solid book, and that is my pick of the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Let me know in the comments below what your pick of the week was, and we'll talk about the viewer's pick at the end of the episode next week. And the viewer's pick from last week was the same pick of the week as me, which was Avengers. And here are some comments about that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.